All right. We're here again with another episode of the Gigs That Made Us. And today we're featuring our first celebrity podcast, which is our first celebrity podcast, which was with Holding Court with Ebony K. Williams. Shout out to Ebony and shout out to her pregnancy she just put out there. She's about to have a baby girl pretty soon here. But yeah, and a big shout out for her, period, just for her and her team to bring us in on that first season of Holding Court. So let's get into, some of the stuff that we did. They came into our New Jersey studio at the time, and her co-host Dustin, shout out to Dustin as well. We did precise editing techniques. It was also our first time working with producers. At the time, we were kind of just working with local businesses and stuff, and we were basically producing ourselves. But we ended up meeting Dossie and Ashley, which were, they were wonderful to work with. But yeah, so we took cues from them on what they wanted in and out, edited in and out. And it was a great situation. We did the first year of that podcast. And we also provided audio kits for her and Dustin. So if they weren't at the studio, they also would record anywhere they were around the world. we could do an online recording, and we did for many of the episodes. So that was a really cool situation, because it got featured in like People magazine, and we were the podcast studio was also in an episode of Housewives when she was a cast member. And, it was just all around a fun time as far as like getting to that next echelon of podcasting and doing it super public, because it was also through iHeartRadio and the Black Effect Network at the time. She's not with them anymore, but for us, it was our first major podcast through major publishers. So just definitely a gig that made us. How about you, Dennis?
Well, the cool part about this gig, like you said, working with the producer, but also the timeline on that particular recording. Remember how they would record Tuesday morning, then we sit in the studio for like 3-4 hours, depends. First couple episodes, it took maybe 6 hours to edit.
Mm-hmm.
But then we got in the groove, and then it would take maybe 2 hours, 3 hours to edit, send it to the producer. They'll get their notes. If we have revisions, we have to do revisions the same day because podcasts will come out on Wednesday morning, right?
Yeah, it was either Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, it was quick.
Wednesday. I think it was like a day turnaround.
Yeah, it was a very quick turnaround. Exactly.
Yeah, so you didn't really have time to, fumble and just to, sit around. You had to get on. As soon as you got email with edits, you jumped on it.
Yeah.
And you start editing. You send it back. If there are and also heavy editing because they had, music cues, transitions,
mm-hmm.
Sound effects, and all those things.
Yeah.
And you have to be on point. It's like you're doing a surgery to the audio track.
Yeah.
Surgical editing.
It was a true show. It was a true show. And the fact that Holding Court was it was like pop. It was popular news. So you couldn't wait for it. Their reactions were pretty real time. And what it still is, the show is still going. They just moved back over to New York City. And I guess I needed to put that into there too. They ended up coming to New Jersey because we were just coming out of the pandemic and New York City was still on shutdown and New Jersey was open. And, with us being located just over that bridge it really helped us to get that gig in the first place. Because they would have just, done it in New York City. But yeah, the first year they were able to do it with us.
Yeah, and we actually first season we were recording videos as well.
Yeah.
Then later on we put out the promo, right, for them.
Yeah. We'll have a bit of that promo in this episode as well. We'll edit that in. But yeah, that was really cool to see even the quick evolution in what we saw from the beginning to that, the end of that first year that we got to work with them, and what that meant when you work with, just, such a big, a bigger show than what we were used to, as far as, two producers, and how they were editing, and how they wanted us to edit, and getting in the groove with that. And it helped us with so many other gigs, and it's truly a gig that made us,
Yeah.
in the podcast world, and set us apart from the normal podcast studios that were even around town or in the country, for that fact.
And again, you always learn. You never know what to expect until you start doing it, and then
Yeah.
once you do it, you get your own rhythm, right?
Yeah.
Something you can edit in 2 hours versus spending 8 hours on something like that. You don't have 8 hours because there are two producers waiting on you. You can't be slacking, otherwise they'll hire someone else. So something that all of us have to keep in mind, that sometimes we're on short turnaround, short time period. You don't have time to go back and forth. You have to
Yeah.
perform.
Yeah. It truly got us it got us up to speed on how to do stuff super quickly and be very agile, and flipping stuff as quick as possible. Um, yeah, it helped us out just as a business, to make everything happen the way that they want it, the way the with high integrity, and production value, and all of that, and truly pushed us to be a better company as far as 23DB
Uh,
Productions is concerned.
yeah, and while you're doing edit, you have to remember that it goes to iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
So it's a certain level of expectations from from the producers and from their from I guess their perspective on what it should sound like and what they want at the end of the day. Because Wednesday morning, no matter what, they have to have that audio file with certain specs, right? The specs can be just whatever. They have to be
Yeah.
certain specs and
Because
certain quality.
they were also putting in ads, so we had to edit for that, and leaving space, and like all the specs that are needed for that, that we didn't know at the time, but now it's like secondhand knowledge, 4 or 5 years later now. But well, I guess
Yeah,
that was
three,
2001.
four,
4 years later, um yeah, we're still using those techniques with our clients today.
indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. So, a recap on what we do, on what a recap on our services with the celebrity podcast Holding Court with Ebony K. Williams. We recorded audio and video. We did a promo video as well that we cut for them. And as far as the podcast, that was a weekly podcast. Uh, every week we had to flip that podcast within like 30 hours, basically.
Hmm.
If not 24 hours sometime, or less than even 24 hours. So it pushed us to really figure out the best ways to edit, how to do precision edit, and work with producers, and work with big publishers like iHeartRadio, Black Effect Network. Really big shout out to Ebony K. Williams and her team with Dossie, for bringing us in, and
Yes.
giving us a chance to grow our business. And it's truly a gig that made us, because from there we got so many other like celebrity clientele that trusted us with our production quality, and really trusted the process with us. So shout out to you, Ebony K. Williams, and the team, and they're continuing to put out great podcasts. They've won awards, NAACP Image Awards, and I only wish them the best in the future. So thank you guys. And again, this was a gig that made us.